Yo, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Hannah? It's good to have this convo with you. Put in some good work with me, so happy to talk.
Um, yeah, I appreciate that we hop on this call. Quickly introduce you.
Yeah, so my name is Leo. 23. I have a funding business that I partner with a business partner of mine. And yeah, man, I want to take my product to Twitter. I saw it was kind of like a blue ocean in the sense that there's so many guys doing what I'm doing on Instagram. No one was really doing it on Twitter. So I saw it as an opportunity. But I got here and I had never been on Twitter before, so I was kind of a bit like overwhelmed with everything. And that's kind of, Chris came at the perfect time where he sent me a message right as I first joined. And, I figured I gave it a shot and see what it was like to, work alongside him. And, here we are now.
Perfect, man. Yeah, so I asked you a couple questions. Very easy, straightforward. So, at first, where have you been before you met me?
Well, in regards to Twitter, I was basically super new to the platform. I was pretty overwhelmed with everything from, how to keep it organized and how to go about posting content, how to do outreach, and what to post about, how often, how to comment, where to find my ideal client, and even just like kind of mapping that out as well and kind of figuring that out.
Okay, understand. And what struggles have you faced before we started together? So, you mentioned a couple one, but have there been any other struggles?
Well, in regards to struggles, we were on Instagram before, but then we had like our account get like banned and stuff, and it was like we got shadow banned. It was just like a pain in the ass dealing with that platform. And Twitter is so much better, in my opinion, for types of outreach that we're doing. You're not going to get as much volume, but the types of clients that you're getting are going to be much better than on Instagram because Twitter attracts just like a different type of person. So you want to be able to master that platform if you want to, make money off it because there's a lot of business owners there. People are posting about like what their issues are. There's a lot of successful guys, so it makes sense to move on. It was just like I didn't know what the hell to do when I got here, so it was nice to have someone kind of like guide me along the way and make out a plan so that all I had to do was just follow it and then make money.
Yeah. And did these struggles had any negative impact on your business and personal life?
I mean, one, I wasn't making as much money, and then two, it's just like overwhelming. It's like at the end of the day, like, after I've worked with you, like, at the end of the day, it's, like, not, like, that complicated, but when you're, like, starting out and you're new, you're just, like, your head's in a million places, and you just don't know what to do, and because you don't know what to do, you actually don't do shit. So, it's good to have someone kinda guiding you type of thing.
And what was it about our approach that stood out to you?
I mean, you came in at a perfect time, you didn't sound like, you seem like a cool guy, and I looked at your page, it seemed um, trustworthy and cool. And then like a lot of these guys that come in and DM, like they have like these automated messages. I've seen like bots and VAs. They didn't take any time into anything. Whereas I found that when I was messaging you, I was going back and forth, and I was like, all right, maybe this guy knows something about this that I don't. So I was like, all right. And then I hop in a call. You seemed cool. Price was reasonable. And it made sense. I was like, I figured I'll give it a try and see what happens, and yeah, it worked out pretty well.
And what else? Like, what about the process we walked through together?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty straightforward. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, you answer your phone, like, all the time, pretty fast, which is good to have. You're super easy to work with. Like, it was pretty, you know, easy to follow. It's like this week do this, next week do this. You know, move it as whatever speed that you want, whether it's faster or slower, depending on what your situation is. But it made, I guess the easiest way to describe it is it made, Twitter super overwhelming to super simple. It's like do X, Y, and Z. And then also too, like another thing I'd mention too is that like I had like ideas of say like what to do, say for example, content like, oh, this content that I have, should I write this or should I not? But having Chris or Hannes there helping me out, saying like this is good, this is bad, gave me that peace of mind, knowing that what I was doing was right. Because like if you're just starting out by yourself, you want to test a million different things. Whereas when you have someone guiding you, you just follow the steps and then you're good. Like that's the hardest part about being a business owner is that no one's telling you what to do, which is kind of why you want to do it in the first place. But if you don't know what the fuck to do, then you're like, what do I do? So having someone like give you the foundations of what you should do on a new platform that you've never have any experience with is super helpful so that you have some sort of direction and peace of mind that you're doing the right thing. Because like with Twitter and any platform that you have, it's gonna take time before we see results. Like I mean, for us, the results came within like a week or two after working, but like you know, you can be doing something for like months, and it could be the right thing, but because you don't have the conviction that it's gonna work, you quit doing it. Whereas when I was working with Honest, I knew that whatever we were doing is gonna work. I just had to stick with it, and then sure enough, it did.
I appreciate that, man. It means a lot to hear that.
Just
Were there any unexpected hurdles or successes along the way?
I honestly didn't think I was gonna make so much money. I was like, "The fuck? Why am I getting so many people interested? Like, this is too easy. I want this to be harder. Give me less money." Like,
Um,
I was on Twitter for maybe I don't even know, maybe like 3 or 4 weeks, um, before I started working, and, like, the product that we have is, like, it's an expensive product. It's, like, an 8K product, and, within the first I was on for about 2 or 3 weeks, I think. Maybe I had booked, like, 2, 3 calls. They weren't really the best clients either, but then we switched it up after I started working with Hannes after a week or 2. I think I've closed 5 or 6 at this point. 4 came in 1 day, which is pretty crazy, and so that's say 5, 8 times 5, 40K in revenue, and then collected was because we don't take everything up front, so we collected probably like 20K out of that, and then, I don't get all of it because I have a business partner, but, do the math, it was within 2 or 3 weeks, it's pretty solid results that I got. I knew I had the good product. I knew that I had a business partner myself that were great at sales. We just needed the way to generate the leads, and then, Chris helped me solve that with Twitter.
what specific outcomes, like you mentioned a lot already, but or results have you seen since implementing our solution? So money wise, leads wise, follower wise, and also like freedom wise, because it has impact on your life overall, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, a consistent form of money. I mean, like the hardest part is always like filling up your calendar with sales calls, especially when you're first starting out on Twitter. Like I literally, if you check my page, I've had like 300 followers and I made like 40K in revenue. So you don't need to have a lot of followers to do that. Whereas other platforms, you need a massive following base. Like, it's just a lot of. But to be fair, on my end, like I did do a lot of outreach on my own. Like I definitely went above and beyond on that. Like I was spending a lot of time doing this, and then I've eventually hired another setter where he just does the DMs for me on cold outreach, just so he can get more volume for that. Um, I mean, the leads that we've gotten have been really high quality. Because what's cool about Twitter is, so I target people in the e-commerce space. So ideally, I want to work with someone who's doing at least say 50K in monthly revenue, which is about like 5 to 10K in profit monthly. So I can see how much money they're making. So I'm not wasting time talking to people that can't afford my product, because I can literally go through the page because everyone posts, how much money they're making. So it's really easy for me to, find my ideal client because it makes so much posts about it. So I'm working on trying to like, the next goal is trying to like fill out my calendar. Probably that would require more volume on the DM side, but from the leads that we've been getting, like we've had a really high close rate. I have to do the math on it, but it's definitely like 2, 3, 4x what we had on Instagram. And yeah, just the lead quality that we've been getting and even like the clients that we have are better than the clients that we had on Instagram and other sources, because there's a good quality of person on there. But just next step is just maxing out that calendar.
Evan, can you share a specific example or story that illustrates the impact of my solution, like business wise and personal wise?
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna sound really simple, but until you kind of have like someone else that's saying, "Oh yes, this is good," then you kind of can trust that you're doing the right thing. Like for example, for me, like I remember I was like watching like 20 videos on how to set up a lead magnet and how to, which one I should pick for my product. And I was like overwhelmed, like this or that. Like I knew I had a good lead magnet. I had like 5 or 6 ideas. And then I talked with Hannes and he's like, "Oh, do this one. I'll help you set it up." And I was like, "Oh, well, that saved me so much time." Because like I had so many options and ideas of what to do, but then he just gave me, "Do this," and then I was like, "Okay, I did it," and it saved me so much time and so much like it's like just being overwhelmed from picking the right lead magnet to linking it up to Gumroad to making a landing page to making like the photo cover, and just making that super easy. And then I guess that was definitely a big one for myself, and had to look at the DMing process. Um, was another one to not come off as like a scammer sales guy, where you're actually trying to like help people that you know that their product would help. Um, but yeah, just like having someone tell you what to do, and it just saves you so much time without having to think about what to do. You just like do this, 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 make money. That's it. That's really it.
In general, would you describe the experience working with me?
I mean, it was super great. It was you always answer your phone, quick to hop on meetings. You could tell that you're actually genuine. You care about your client's success. You're not just doing it for a quick buck. You're here to help out. So I've got the results that well, I got more results than you say. So that's always a good sign. And yeah,
Were there any moments or interactions that impressed or surprised you?
honestly, probably how simple it really is. Like at the end of the day, it's like, okay, do this, this, and this.
Okay,
Do this amount of DMs, make money. Like it's once after like I've worked with you, I was like, oh, why didn't I just do this from the start? But then like you have to look at yourself from that perspective, and it's like, oh well, I didn't like. It just looks scary when you don't know it, and then when you have it, it's like, oh, why didn't I know it before?
exactly.
But if you just follow the steps and you actually have a good product, um, and you can have decent at sales, and there's no reason why you shouldn't be closing leads following Harness's method. It's just it's follow steps and make money. It's really like that.
How do you see the solution evolving in the future with your business?
Um, well, I mean, I think I have all the fundamentals laid down. It's just basically, doing it over a long enough timeline. And then I have other business partners and then getting them involved doing the same thing and then increasing my cold outreach. So doing more volume in the form of DMs. So hiring a setter to eventually manage that so then I could just focus on creating content and sales calls and then have other people doing the setting for me.
Would you recommend our service to others in the space?
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely recommend it if you're not seeing results on Twitter and you have a good product. Because that's how I felt. I knew I had a good product that people, we've had happy clients that just didn't know how to position myself correctly. Or if you're new to the platform as well, because if you're used to coming up from like other platforms and you come onto Twitter, it can be overwhelming on how to manage it. But yeah, if you're new to Twitter, if you have a good product that works, yeah, I don't. There's no reason why you shouldn't work with Hannes on this. Definitely recommend.
Um, Thank you, man. What lessons or insights did you gain from this project that you think could be valuable for others in this situation?
I mean, it takes money to make money. You got, let me rephrase that. You got to spend money to make money. So you could figure out on your own. It could take you, 3 or 4 months, or I just pay a guy to do it for me, and then I make, 10x what I paid. You know, you know?
Is there anything else you would like to add that we haven't covered?
Nah, I mean, Hannes was great to work with. I got no complaints. He helped me everything that he said he would and more. And I'm grateful that he found me and we started working together. And got my Twitter brand settled and started, monetizing it, even though I had a small account. Like I only had probably when I have closed my first deal, I probably had 200 followers. Now I just crossed 400. I'm gaining like about 5 to 10 followers a day, some days a little more. But you don't need to have a lot of followers in order to make money on Twitter. Really don't. You just have to get in front of the right people and create posts that your ideal client would find trustworthy and, do volume on DMs and have a good DM system.
Awesome, man. Yeah, thank you so much for answering the questions, and I really appreciate that.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate your help.